Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
Welcome, everybody. August 17th, it's WagerTalk Today. It's $2 Tuesdays. Teddy covers with me. I'm Lawrence Presman, and we got Adam Trigger joining us today, Teddy, live from Yankee Stadium. And Adam is going to, he's going to take apart the Yankee game, game one. We're going to look at the Vikings versus Colts, and Ole Miss, their season win total, over or under 7.5. I've got my penalty box segment, your big game breakdown. Dave Sharapan. Well, it's going to be a fun 45 minutes. How are you, brother?
So I've officially figured it out, Prez. You have a signature move that you open every show with, and you don't even notice that you do it. Every single show, you open the same way. You just turn your head this way, and you adjust your one seat like this, and you adjust your other seat like that. And I swear you never notice that you do it. You should probably do that before we get on air, bro. And that way you look spot on, as opposed to the guy that's squonking into your seat. How are you today? I split out last night. I got nothing exciting to talk about. No muss, no fuss, nothing good, nothing bad. It was what it was. What about you?
Yeah, dude, I didn't release any plays last night, so it was a relaxing evening. No complaints. Went 2-1 in the penalty box segment, and I do have something to discuss with you, but let's start with, what did you learn last night in the wonderful world of sports betting?
So, I mean, we've been kind of touching on this theme a little bit over the last week or so, but look, last night it never became clear to me that I was looking at what I have to do this week. All right, let's make your list. Summer's over, boys and girls. The time for chilling has come and gone. There's no more Olympics to bore us to death. Full slate of MLB today. Full slate of NFL games this weekend. College football starts next week. Look, if you haven't done any prep, it's not too late. But it will be in a week or two. So I encourage you, take advantage of this last bit of downtime between now and downtime. It's not even downtime. Between now and when things start to go crazy in a week or two, take advantage. If you haven't done your preseason work already, this is the time to do it. What about you, Mr. Prez? What did you come up with for last night?
Well, I want to talk to you about baseball, specifically teams, for instance, like the San Diego Padres. As we move into, I guess there's give or take 6 weeks left in the regular season, and there's a lot of movement. Atlanta just moved into the top of their division. San Diego only 1.5 games up on Cincinnati, 4 up on St. Louis. And the reason I mentioned San Diego is they just had an awful series. And we're getting into that scenario where the must-win games, if you will. And obviously in baseball, it's a little bit different. All of these teams have 40-plus games left to go. But, I mean, are we seeing a team like San Diego show who they are? They can't have a series as bad as they just did. How do we attack this must win? Is Cincinnati, do they have the cojones to stay and win those important games? It looks like the Blue Jays don't, Teddy, however good they are. Shocking series against the Angels. Which teams do you think just don't have it for these must-win games moving forward?
Well, none of these are must-win games. All right, we're in August.
Yeah, I understand.
I said in September, and the pressure ratchets up. And I love to bet against some of the teams who start to crack under the pressure. The one that stands out,
what I'm talking
as
about.
It will to anyone who was betting them, were the Boston Red Sox. Well, it was a decade ago when they, had the big lead in the AL East and blew it all in September. Teams go hot and cold. The Padres are not playing great baseball right now. We're going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about them in my big game breakdown. We'll talk about the Padres and the Rockies for tonight. But we talk about the pressure. It comes down to three things. The starting pitchers can't get lit up. The bullpen's got to get out, and they got to get clutch hits. And there's a fair bit of randomness in all three of those things. So I don't look at the Padres and say they don't have the cojones, or the Reds where the team said, they don't have the cojones. They might not have the bullpen. That's Cincinnati's flaw. Padres have the bullpen. The pitching's been hit or miss. The lineup's been hit or miss in recent weeks. But all of that for San Diego, in my mind, those are overcomable problems that the Padres have from a talent standpoint, along with the Dodgers, who are at the top of the wild card standings right now, but the Giants in first place. But along with the Dodgers, the Padres look like the team that deserves to be there.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. But it's interesting. I mean, you look at a team like San Fran. Here's a team me and you spoke about after the All-Star break, and you, Steve, myself, we thought they would regress. This is a team that keeps winning. They don't allow themselves to go on 4, 5, 6 game losing streaks. Same with the Rays. Boston had a disaster streak, but turned it around. And the Milwaukee Brewers, another team that's just consistent. That's my worry with teams like San Diego and Cincinnati and even the Atlanta Braves. Just the consistency, really counting on them when you bet on them. Anything to add there? And then we can bring in our first guest.
Well, again, as you get into September, all right, the dog days of August and into September, consistency isn't necessarily. In August, you want the team that's coming every day. You know what I mean? And that in September, there's often a different thought process with that. And it changed my handicapping in September to simply, I'm looking for teams in bad current form to bet against. Teams that have been playing well, that aren't playing well, and those become almost auto fades in September. And we'll find teams like that. But I'm not going to try to predict them now. I'm just going to try to take advantage of them when they happen, if that makes sense.
Teddy covers everyone. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching Wager Talk Today, and it is $2 Tuesdays, Teddy, over at both Wager Talk and Sports Memo. And Adam Trigger is the $2 Tuesday handicapper at Wager Talk. And he's new to Wager Talk. He's been on Sports Memo. We just moved him over. So first, a massive congratulations to you, Adam, for joining the Wager Talk family. And also, it looks like a bloody nice day in New York.
Hey, guys, how's it going? Yeah, it was raining earlier, but it stopped. It's cloudy, but it's going to be about 80 degrees, and there's never a bad day for live baseball. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm on the Yankee Stadium Wi-Fi. But, yeah, we're here. The game's in about an hour.
Looks like good seats, dude.
Oh, yeah, we're actually right down in this front row of this section. So really good seats. You still pay. You know what, Teddy and Prez, you still pay for 9 innings when you only get 7. I don't know if you knew that. But
yeah, but you get 2 games, though. So
no, not here. Not here.
They're kicking out after 1?
Yeah, it's a day-night. The second game is not till 7 p.m. So, yeah, no, you got to pay full price if you want to stay for both. I'm just at the first one, and then I'm headed back upstate. So, but it should be a good one.
Where are you from? Where's upstate?
I'm from Schenectady, New York. I grew up about 15 minutes outside of Schenectady. I still live there now. So about 2.5 hours from the city.
Who came up with the name of your town?
I don't know that. I know General Electric's located in Schenectady, and our most famous sports figure is probably Pat Riley. So that's what I can give you for Schenectady, New York.
Teddy, you're from that region. Plus 200 if you can spell Schenectady.
Plus 200, I got it. SCHE. I got to spell it. I got to type it. SCHEN. Yeah, I'm not getting there.
Yeah.
SCHENECTADY.
TADY.
Okay. Adam, congratulations, man. I mean, listen, you know this. We get 100 applications a week to come on Wager Talk. Everybody has emailed us, and now you're part of the family. We love having you. So great stuff. Enjoy the game. But let's get into let's hear about you first. Who are you? What should customers expect when buying your plays? Are you a low volume player, a high volume player? What are your best sports? Tell us a little bit about Adam Trigger.
Sure. So I grew up in the New York capital region. I also went to college here. So I went to Siena College, and I would say my best sport is probably college basketball. It's been a passion of mine since I was a little kid. Siena is really a basketball school. That's the one big sport at Siena College. They had a great team when I was in college. Went to three straight NCAA tournaments, won twice. I think we beat Vanderbilt and Ohio State. So I go pretty deep in college hoop. I'm also baseball is probably my first love, and then I do NFL and NCAA basketball. I'll dip in with NBA here and there, and ever since last year, I started doing the Korean baseball, and it went so well that I decided to keep it on for 2021. I'm pretty low volume. You'll always get a full page analysis with every play, and we're just trying to grind out winners and be in the green at the end of each year.
Excellent stuff. We'll get to your $2 Tuesday play in a second, but let's start with the Yankees-Red Sox game today. Game one, where are you going in this one?
Yeah, so tough game, but, I'm here. You got to have some live action, so I have to find something for this game. But I like the Yankees. Okay, and Teddy at the beginning of the show said, what team do you think is kind of going to be sort of like a fade collapse type team going forward? And for me, that's the Boston Red Sox. I think they played as well as they possibly could have in the first half. And I think they're going to finish fourth in the division. I have a feeling the Yankees,
wow.
the Yankees, Blue Jays, and Rays all beat out the Red Sox this year. The starting pitching is not impressive to me. I know they're getting Chris Sale back, but it doesn't really, that's going to help. I don't think it solves all their problems. The bullpen comes in with a 1.39 whip. It's 23rd in the league. And really, the Red Sox have seemed to sort of avoid the injury bug. They kind of had everything go right in the first half. Some of these other teams are getting healthy. The Yankees being one of them. The Blue Jays are starting to play better, and the Rays are probably going to win this division. Although I hope, for selfish reasons, they don't, because I have a ton of Blue Jays futures. But I think the Red Sox are going to bow out of this race. So for me, they're a fade. And in this particular matchup, Montgomery comes back off, from a layoff of COVID, but prior to going on the COVID IL, I guess we can call it, he had 3 starts. I want to say he accumulated about 15 2/3 innings, gave up 1 run, and he hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs in about 8 starts, which is good enough for me. How okay number, smaller sample size, and I know the Yankees bullpen's gotten size a little bit lately, but I think it's given up a really big hit in a very high-profile spot. They're still 3rd in the league in WHIP. They've got the much better bullpen. And in a day where it is a 7-inning game, but these starters might not go more than 4 or 5 innings. So I do think the bullpen's coming to play. And for the Yankees pen over the Red Sox bullpen here.
All right. Apologize for the modest audio issues. Of course, when you have someone live at the game, sometimes that's going to happen. Of course, talking with Adam Trigger, who's a newest member of the WagerTalk family. Adam, let's talk a little NFL preseason. I know sometimes it's difficult. I've done the live spots from the game, and while it's fun to be on air, it's like, cool, yeah, I'm at the game and I'm doing spots. It's also a pain in the ass, and it's better to get it out of the way before the game starts than it is to have the live updates while you're there. Then you got to stay sober to be on air. Meanwhile, you have a couple of beers if you're not. But let's talk a little preseason football for Saturday. Vikings and the Colts in Minnesota has certainly taken the early money. Mike Zimmer, not amused with the Vikings' poor play this past weekend. What are we going to do with the Vikings and the Colts? NFL preseason week 2. All right.
Yeah.
Well.
We're having tech issues. We did try, and that's good. But I will tell you, Teddy, I don't have a pick from him on the Vikings Colts, but I do know he likes the over in Ole Miss season win total, over 7.5. Do you happen to have a thought there?
Well, the one thing that we want to do, I mean, for Ole Miss in terms of their win total, I don't have a strong opinion over or under. However, if we're going to intro the game, we got to talk about it. the Vikings and the Colts NFL X for Saturday, real quick. And again, this isn't a strong recommendation by any stretch of the imagination. And just looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, getting the current number for Minnesota and Indy.
-2 for Minnesota, -2.5, 38.
Yeah. We see nothing but Vikings money. Nothing but Vikings money at all. And you can certainly understand it. All right. It's a Vikings team that in the Mike Zimmer era has responded fairly well to poor efforts, whether it's in the preseason or the regular season. And Zimmer, I mean, there was smoke coming out of his ears at the press conference after the game, and they got annihilated in that contest. So in August, all right, and this game, again, we talked about it a little bit, but this point spread can only go up. All right, we're not about to see a bunch of Indy money. The markets aren't going to look at Sam Ehlinger off his, he was solid in the second half last week in a friendly setting where he was able to make a bunch of plays with his feet, but that's not necessarily going to be a bet-on scenario for this week. If you like Minnesota, you've missed the best of it, but I bet that sooner rather than later. I do have my concerns about the Vikings QB rotation. It's not a QB. I'm not getting involved in that game because I'm not stepping in front of Minnesota after that effort, and I'm not laying points with Jake Browning and Kellen Mond.
Teddy, let's talk $2 Tuesday quick, and then we'll take a break. I want to let everybody know Adam Trigger is the $2 Tuesday handicapper, so pull the trigger. Good one. Not bad, right? Pull the trigger.
I had a hunch that was going to come at some point. I wanted to ask him about his last. Is that his real last name, or is he a Teddy Covers? Has he made it up?
I'm guessing it's his real last name. I didn't sign the contract with him this time around. I'm sure Rick did.
We got to find out.
But anyway, last year, Adam, 60% in NFL, 47-31 record, which is just awesome. And he's got a 5% play up in the preseason over at WagerTalk.com. You guys can get it for only $2. So please take advantage of that. And also over at Sports Memo, the $2 Tuesday handicapper, Mikey Sports. He's been on, 62 wins and 29 losses in his last 94 baseball plays. Please let that be my NFL record at the end of the year. Please. I ask all gods above, because I don't know which is the legit one. So all of you above, please give me a 62-29 NFL season, please. Anyway, he's got a big play up in baseball tonight. It's only $2 over at Sports Memo. Oh my God, could you imagine laying down a 62-29 NFL season, Theodore?
Yeah, I can imagine it. But my hunch is that your methodology for achieving that is somewhat flawed. Prayer, lots of people pray. Doing the work to have that kind of a season, putting the time and effort in, not that many people do. You're capable. Well, I've seen you do it.
Yeah, well, and listen, Teddy, man, I've been putting the work in, dude. I have been studying these NFL teams for a month now. Actually, before this show, I was going down and looking at the Titans and the Colts. I'm deep into the AFC South right now. So I'm putting the work in, bro. But hey, might as well appeal to the higher ups for a 68% NFL season. I understand they're busy. I get that they likely aren't listening to me, but what could it hurt? Anyway, let's take a quick break. We're right back with Teddy's Big Game Breakdown. We're going to take apart the AFC North, and then, of course, Dave Sharapan joining us.
Tuesdays is known known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. I want to talk about the Rockies and the Padres. Looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, seeing basically a pick-up price for this game right now. But yeah, minus 105, minus 110 for Colorado, depending on if you're a 10-cent shop or a 20-cent shop, basically across the board. So this is a true pick-up game. Total sitting at 12.5, a little bit of money to the under. Before I break this game down in full, I do want to let you know about what's going on tonight over at WagerTalk.com. I have a pair of plays up in MLB, and the baseball's been solid, just shy of 60% over the last 3 months, better than 48% ROI during that span. So you can get those plays right now over at WagerTalk.com. Look, all Colorado does is win games at home, 39-21 at home compared to 14-45. That's the type of dichotomy you can make money with all year, and the type of dichotomy that's still profitable right now. When we look at the Marquez, who's been dynamite for Colorado. 6-1 in his last 9 at Coors Field, 7 quality starts during that span. He's had a couple of good starts against the Padres this season. 2-0 in those games, only gave up a couple of runs. So he's worked well against this lineup. It's a Rockies team that blew a late lead last night and then got the walk-off win, playing with a ton of momentum. C.J. Cron with the solo homer in the bottom of the ninth after the 3-run jack in the top of the ninth by Trent Grisham. So a deflating loss for San Diego. Yeah, they're getting healthier. Tatis is back in the lineup. Profar is going to come back later this week. But look, this team has lost, 5 out of 6 right now. They had a team meeting. That didn't help a whole lot. They were just shut out by a rookie, or no hit by a rookie making his first big league start. Eric Hosmer, Padres first baseman, quote, "Sometimes in the season you get lost in what's going on. It's such a long, grueling season, it can sometimes beat you down." Right now, it's beating down San Diego. Look at the Rockies at the pick-em price. No argument first 5, no argument full game. Colorado over San Diego this evening. There's your big game breakdown, Prez. Back to you, Mike.
Teddy covers. Let's get into the AFC North, and this is 3 teams contending last year. Yeah, why don't you let me finish? Why don't you just
more fun?
You know what? You handle this segment. I will respond.
Sure. All right. The NFC North has 2 teams contending for a title with the Browns and the Ravens. There's a Steelers team that is very much, when you talk to bettors around Vegas, some people look at Pittsburgh as a playoff / Super Bowl contender. Other people look at the Steelers as a team that is primed for a dismal season. And there's also a mix of opinion on Cincinnati. The Bengals certainly expected to be the last place team. There are some out there that look at the Bengals as being a true bottom feeder. There are others that say, hey, the writing's on the wall. Cincinnati's going to get better, and they're going to make money for their backers this season. But from a pure divisional standpoint, and the odds show it very clearly, it's a 2-team race. It's Baltimore versus Cleveland. And frankly, on paper, Prez, both those teams, to me, look capable of competing for a Super Bowl title. I'm not going to sell the Browns or the Ravens short. They're both really good.
So now, as the host of the segment, you ask me a question, you throw it over to me, and then I speak. So a great segue would have been, what do you think, Prez? Let's talk the Baltimore Ravens. Are they the ones? Or you could have gone with, how about the Cleveland Browns? Or you could have just been like, which one will win the division, Prez?
So I'll disagree with that. No, I'm jumping in right there, because one of the things that I dislike when you do to me is when I'm ready to talk about the other team and you throw to me, you're like, so it's the Rays and the Orioles, and I'm about to talk Tampa. You're like, no, tell me about Baltimore. So one of the things I like to do when I throw to my guests on my shows is give them a little bit more leeway. They know fully well it's coming to them, but
you didn't
they can
throw to
take
me.
whatever I said and respond however you want.
But you didn't throw to me. You literally just stopped talking.
I said the Browns and the Ravens.
Let's talk one at a time. Okay, so my attitude right off the bat, Teddy, is that the Browns are going to win this division. You can get anywhere from plus 145 to plus 165. I made a bet on the Browns at plus 165 a couple of days ago, so I know that line is still out there. Last year, their record 11-5. Their win-loss record this year 10-5. This is a team to me that is just really, really well balanced. They're well balanced both on offense and defense. Their defense I consider to be outstanding. They just picked up Clowney. Their offense, Teddy, it's just so beautifully built right now. The best running attack in all of football with Chubb and Hunt. It sets up an amazing play action for Baker. Baker's got, he's an accurate quarterback. He can throw long. He's got Landry and Odell. I think we're going to see the Browns win this division at plus 165. And my thoughts on the Baltimore Ravens, Teddy, and then we'll go to you, is I think this team is going to regress, to be honest with you. Right now they're plus 115 to win the division. I don't think that's a good bet. Their win-loss record is 11.5. I do like under the total in their win-loss record. And, you know, you look at Lamar Jackson, Teddy, a couple of years ago, 36 TDs. Last year, 26. A couple of years ago, 6 interceptions. Last year, 9. This team, they were 32nd in passing yards. There are 32 teams in the league. They were 31st in pace of play. I like betting unders on Baltimore this year, and I know people are talking about their defense. I think their defense is a top 5 defense, but I just think their offense is going to stumble. I think we are seeing other teams start figuring out Lamar. So I am pro Cleveland and anti Baltimore. And then we can talk Pittsburgh and the Jets. What are your thoughts there?
So I'm not convinced we're going to make a whole lot of money with Cleveland this year. They are very hyped. Very hyped. And we need to see Baker Mayfield play at that level. Right now, if you're ranking QBs in division, Mayfield the worst quarterback in the division? You know?
No. Well, he could be the worst quarterback.
I'm not ranking him above Lamar Jackson.
Okay, dude.
I'm not ranking him above Lamar Jackson. I'm not ranking him above Joe Burrow, who was unbelievable as a rookie last year.
Yep.
And so the only question is whether Baker Mayfield's better than Ben Roethlisberger, which maybe he is. But I'm not taking the team with the third best QB and making a bet saying they're going to win the division. You know, Cincy's the interesting team. Cincy's the team that we have a chance to make money with. All right. Cleveland's priced right. They're priced like a contender. Baltimore's priced right. They're priced like a contender. Pittsburgh is priced like the markets don't know what they are, which we don't. But if Cincinnati's any good, which, again, they were a point spread machine last year before Burrow got hurt, covering numbers. If they're any good, if they're decent, we'll make money with the Bengals as much as any other team in that division.
Teddy, really quick, there's only 3 active quarterbacks in that division, 1 geriatric. So I don't even count Big Ben. He should have retired ages ago. So as far as those 3, listen, what I love about Baker and what I love about Cleveland is that they know that Baker isn't an all-world. They came 3rd in the league in rushing, 28th in pass attempts. This team knows who they are. They play to who they are. And what Baker does do well is that play action pass. Plus, unlike Lamar and Joe, he has weapons everywhere. Cincinnati, I agree with you, Teddy. I got Cincinnati as a team to bet on this year. I think we're going to get real good value betting on Cincinnati game by game. But if you look at their over-under record, it's 6.5, and I can't bet over in there. I think Cincinnati's going to be a good team moving forward, but I think there might be a year or 2 away.
Yeah, this over-under record, you keep on using an uncommon term. What Prez is referring to when they are 10-5, which he said with Baltimore, the season win total number, okay? the season win total for these teams. So they will have to win
Thanks
11 games to go
explaining that.
over 10.5, not 10.5. It's 10.5, Prez. And then if they win 10 games, they'll go under 10.5 wins for the season, just to avoid the confusion there. But when you say Baltimore has no weapons, to me, that's not a statement I'm comfortable with at all. Not at all. They are loaded with weapons on the outside at running back. They have as much skill, maybe not as hyped. Maybe they're not paying as many big contracts as the Browns are. But if you grade out the Ravens receiving core and their running back core, it's right there with Cleveland. There's no separation.
Oh my God. Yeah. Their running game matches Hunt and Chubb.
Yeah, you're right. Dobbins and Edwards are the number one running team in the NFL over the last 5 years in a row. Can't run the football. You're right, Prez. You're sounding stupid. No. Let's bring in someone smart.
Oh, okay, Teddy. Why don't we have some kind of side wager?
The Browns have been the best running
Ravens
team in the NFL for the last 3 years, dude. The Browns and the Ravens, right there. You can't say they can't run the football.
Because Lamar runs the ball all the time. That's the reason. It's because Lamar is their running back, and all they do is run. With that said, I will give you this. They have the best tight end in the division.
Okay.
There you go. And the best kicker. Dave Sharapan, want to add anything to this? Oh my God.
I miss Tuesdays with the two of you. I really do. My God. It is so great to be here and see both of you. But to listen to this is just it's drama like you can't get anywhere else. I mean, this is the show. I just they both can run the ball. But I mean, for you, Prez, the Ravens are a pretty good rushing team. I'm just letting you know.
Yes.
And I heard what you were saying about geriatric.
Number one in the NFL the year before. Oh,
yep.
Number two in the NFL the year before that.
Teddy. Stop with the numbers because he doesn't listen to the numbers anyway. We know this. I heard what he said about the geriatric in the division though as well. And don't worry, they've been trying to run Ben out of Pittsburgh for 10 years. He keeps coming back. This is what Pittsburgh does when everyone's counting them out and their season win total, which again is just an over-under season win total. I don't know what the hell Prez is calling it. I really have no idea.
Oh,
but
shut up.
But I'm just saying, watch the Steelers season win total go over. Just leave it at that.
Okay, so the quick question, because we need some Dave Sharapan credibility. Where do you live?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, where are you from? Who's your team?
I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh.
Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
At least Marco isn't giving us that fandom BS.
Oh, believe me, I don't give you the fandom stuff. I'll be the first one to tell you they stink. I came on the show every week last year when they were 11-0. I wore the Pittsburgh stuff and told you they're going to lose. I told you they're going to be be lucky to make the playoffs. So don't give me the fan stuff. Keep that up in Toronto for all you got, people up there. No drama here. Prez, you look good. Give me a flex, please. Please, one. Just lean back. Oh my God. You're on the good stuff. You're on the good stuff. There's no question.
Teddy?
I need to ask Dave a question because Dave was on. I'm clicking around. I'm on the MLB network last night, and all of a sudden your smiling mug's on there. How'd you get that gig? Talk about MLB network and what you're going to be doing over there. Because it's fun to, watch a channel that you have on sometimes, and all of a sudden your buddy's on. That was cool.
That was awesome, man. Thank you. So MLB Network, I guess we're going to do stuff. I wear these hats all the time and come on here. And you guys, again, gave me all the reps and stuff. And somebody saw it and reached out and said, we want you to be on as a regular contributor. Everybody's getting into the gambling space, right? And, they need people to explain it in an entertaining way. So opportunity arose. We're going to ride this thing out. We're going to be an MLB network contributor, correspondent. I don't even understand it all. They just said, listen, we're going to have you on the show. Can you do it? I said, yes, as long as it doesn't interfere with my Wager Talk Today obligations.
Yeah, sure.
We're good to go.
So I got stuck on delivering it in an entertaining way. Do you consider yourself entertaining?
Whether I do or not, it doesn't matter. It's the people that actually reached out. That's all that really matters. So,
well said. And you are entertaining, Dave Sharapan.
I try.
Dave, I'm going to hand the mic over to Teddy to get some actionable info out of you. So let's go, Teddy.
What do you got?
Before I get some actual info out of you, I want to ask one more question about you, Dave, because now you've been commentating more than bookmaking for what, a year or two now? How long does it
almost
take?
A year?
Yeah, okay. So for a year, how long does it take before you're not a bookmaker? Where all that stuff is now all old history, or are you still very much, a bookmaker? Your contacts are still there. You have no problems getting info.
Yeah, it's funny because I guess I've done it for so long. And, I still love going to the book. So I still go hang out or, I still get asked, what do you make this number? I still get asked, what do I think about who's going to win this division or who's, so I'm still in touch with a lot of guys in the business and it's just who I am in a lot of ways. So it's a lot of fun to be on this side of it now because, now I get stuff and they're like, hey, do you mind putting this out? We're offering this, or, hey, do you mind, looking this over before I talk to this guy because they want to do a story. So it's everything that I was doing last year in the years prior to, CG being sold to William Hill and Caesars. So no, I think, this started 25 years ago. I'm a bookmaker every day with the kids. I make numbers every day about, who's going to do this or who's going to do that. So I don't think it changes. I think like that every day, but, maintaining the contacts, it's hard work. You guys know. At some point, your friends all get fired or they're out of a job and you ain't got no one to talk to. So, right now, that's not the case. In 10 years, maybe that will be the case. But in 10 years, I don't know if I'll be able to listen to two of you yapping back and forth on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
so
I'm going with sorry, Teddy. I'm going with in 10 years. Ain't no chance I'm doing this show with Teddy, man. I'm not doing any shows in 10 years.
Yeah. So Dave, I know you talk about making numbers with your kids. So when Isaac and I go to the grocery store, there's always an over/under at the checkout. It's just one of those things. Always.
What do you do? You put a time on it? What do you do?
No, I put the money under $139.50.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
Teddy,
we do that.
Me and my two girls do the exact same thing. And literally 3 or 4 months ago, we get there and it's all laid out. And I look at the girls, I'm like, over and under 264. And it was 264. Like, even
you hit it right on the number?
The lady at the cat. And I said to them, you guys should give an award out for this. I'm like, whoever can come up and guess their grocery bill
gets it free.
It's up over $200 gets it free. Then it occurred to me that people would be walking around the supermarket with a calculator.
Yep.
But I guessed it right on the nose. Okay, Dave, let's go, man. Give us some bets.
I missed these general questions. Teddy, direct. What do you want? You want NFL?
Wait. Teddy taught me at the beginning of the show. He's like, don't throw a specific sport. He might want to talk about another sport. Don't mention a team. He might want to talk. So I went real broad for you, Dave. I learned it from Teddy at the top of the show.
I swear to God, I want to be a part of the Slack channel the two of you are on. Whatever this is, because the back and forth has to just be, it just has to be gold. All right. What do you want? Where do you want to start, Teddy? WNBA?
MLB.
Summer League basketball? Oh, okay, good. Whew. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Baseball for today. Where are we seeing the sharp money coming in? The wise guys making moves. Who's the public like? What kind of actionable info do we have for today's MLB?
The baseball has been pretty simple, and this is another reason 7,922 why I'm glad I'm not in a book. The favorites win every day in baseball, and more favorites win than lose. And now people are on to it. They're playing the run lines. They're playing, parlaying them together. The series of the day, or this next couple days, is Red Sox Yankees, right? You see this number on the first game in the morning, and I'm already seeing a number on the afternoon game. Now, obviously, it's going to be a split. So that's just the percentage of bets with doubleheaders. It's very hard to sweep. Very rare does a team win both games of a doubleheader, even a day-nighter. I actually think, the first game, it tells you it's a toss-up. It's a complete coin flip. And with it being in the morning, I don't think the bookmakers know either. So, of course, I get a text this morning, are the Yankees ever going to lose? Somebody already played the Yankees at one of the books this morning, first thing in the morning. One of my boys sent me the text. So they played that in game 1. I would look to play against them in game 2 today if that happens. And then the only other thing that anyone even mentioned to me today was, do you think the Burns line is too low with the Brewers and the Cardinals? I don't know. I know how Burns is amazing. I mean, he could win the Cy Young. So I don't know. It is a little. It reaches that point right around 160 where we know, because we've been doing this so long, is that too much to lay? For me, I'm not excited to lay 180s, 200s. Sometimes you do it because you just feel really good about it. But Burns today, just be cautious putting that in all your parlays. I think the Cardinals are live as a dog. Now, trying to find dogs is not easy in baseball right now, but, there's a couple maybe for you, and just bet against the Mets. Just keep betting against the Mets. That's pretty easy. Just every day, bet against the Mets. They got Giants, Dodgers, Giants. Their season is going to be over in the next 9 days. They'll probably win 2 games maybe. Just ride that streak.
I'll take the under, too. Dave Sharapan, at SportsBK Consig on Twitter, Sportsbook Consigliere, and Ash at his podcast. What's the GT Cash Considerations? Is that
no more GT. We're just on our own. We're talking to some people about sponsorships. We got all kind of things going on, but we do the show every week. We're going to ramp it up for football. I think we're going to do it multiple times a week if we can fit the time in. And, like everything else in this business, we're getting ramped up for football. But I mean, listen to you guys talk about the futures. That's the one thing that someone even texted me. With the mask thing back up here in Vegas, there's not as many people coming. And the future market for season wins is a little bit down. It's going to come, but usually you already have positions and stuff played by now. So I was just talking to somebody over the weekend about that. They're like, man, I hope they lift this up and we get some more people in town from out of town so somebody can come in and bet the Jets season wins over. Because every year you take bets on every team. And you don't have that money in the pool right now, so their future markets may look a little bit different than years past.
Just a few minutes left here with Dave Sharapan, an ex-bookmaker and now contributor on the MLB network, as well as WagerTalk Today. And Dave, you talked about football and some of the actionable stuff that we've seen this week when it comes to NFL preseason action. The week 1 story, unders. Nothing but unders. What are you seeing in terms of week 2 action so far?
So nothing yet. It was funny because the discussion with someone Sunday was, I give up. That was one of the texts. I give up. I give up. How low can you make these numbers? And I had talked to someone and said, just make it 31 and let them bet over. I mean, what do you have to lose? That's what I would have said in the room. That's what I used to say all the time. And I still say it today. But now I think a lot of people watching the show may be new to preseason betting because not a lot of people do it. They're going to blindly bet the unders this week. And I went on a show yesterday and said, there's 16 games this week in preseason. I bet they go 8-8 or 7-9, 9-7. overs and unders. You just know it's just going to happen. We know it. We've been in the business long enough to know it. That's an anomaly. It was crazy. I think the oddsmakers and bookmakers don't know everything all the time anyway, but they're stubborn, and they wouldn't make those numbers lower, and they got beat. So now they're not going to get beat again. You know it. The NFL numbers get better all season. Yeah. 3 weeks in a preseason, they got crushed in week 1. Watch them get close back to even in week 2.
Yeah, and then win all their money back in week 3. Dave Sharapan joining us. Guys, please hit that like button. It costs us, what do we pay you, Dave? Like $10,000 a show?
Sharp money's on the under.
We got to talk. Yeah, there's too many zeros there or something. I don't know. That was
actually, Dave, there's too many ones there.
Oh, fair enough. Binary numbers, ones and zeros. You put the 1 in there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's 700 zeros. Guys, hit that like button, man. Dave Sharapan takes time out of his day to join us. He's always an excellent guest, gives us great info. Dave, any other sport, anything else quickly you see, and then we'll get to the presidential daily address.
Oh, man, there's a lot to talk about, too, with this presidential daily address. Keep an eye on the Braves. The Braves and the Phillies are coming down to the wire. I think the Braves and the Phillies is going to be a fun NL East situation. So keep an eye on that one. Braves today, Braves throwback for them. NBA free agency, we're not talking about, period. It's done, over. Don't worry about that. And Prez, I'm just waiting for the hockey takes. Until then, that's all I got for you. I can't wait to hear this presidential address. I'm not leaving, and if there's music, I'm dancing.
Well, let's begin. Okay, time for the NFL presidential address, the daily presidential address. I'm going to get that right at some point. I just want to let everybody know my AFC East presidential address is up at WagerTalk TV, our YouTube channel. The AFC North went up yesterday. I'm getting great comments. I really appreciate that. We've had a lot of love in the chat room today. Thank you guys so much for that. JW wanted to know if I would bet parlays with my best bets. The answer is no. Somebody else pointed out that Prez will insult you and tell you parlays are suckers bets. I'm not going to insult you, but I will tell you parlays are suckers bets. Anyway, I got 3 plays for you guys tonight in baseball that I'm actually betting. I did release a play for my clients. You guys can grab that over at WagerTalk.com. Teddy's waving at me while I speak. I'm trying to find my 3 plays. There they are. And Dave Sharapan mentioned this, and it is, Dave, screw off with your nonsense. I got 2 minutes on the clock, and I'll take it. Dave mentioned this as well with the favorites winning in baseball regularly and how many people are making run line bets. I've been making run line bets all year, guys. It's literally my favorite bet in baseball. And today I have 2 for you. The Blue Jays -1.5 with Alex Manoah on the mound. He's just absolutely on fire. I mean, Jesus Christ, 5-1 with an ERA of almost nothing. He's had 2 games this year where he went out 7 innings, shutout ball. They're facing Washington, who's never seen him. I like the Jays -1.5. I like the Reds -1.5. And like Dave Sharapan, I like the Atlanta Braves tonight. Jays -1.5, Cincy -1.5, and the Braves. Teddy, I got a Montreal smoked turkey sandwich with my name on it. Take us home.
Sure, that is going to wrap it for the Tuesday edition of Wager Talk Today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with us. Thanks to Adam Trigger and Dave Sharapan for joining us. Thanks to my co-host, the Prez, for leading the show. And we'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same channel, right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon on the East Coast. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.